Good morning, everyone, on this rainy Monday, May 1st, 2020, and it's 6:22 in the morning, 6:22 a.m. And I decided to have a couple of eggs with bacon and toast. Let me pour my coffee. And as you can see from the video, it's raining outside. Never-ending story so far this spring. Rain most of April and now starting off May. But on the good side, on the forecast, we have 68 degrees forecast for Sunday. So looking forward to that. I think the bees are looking forward to that too. You know, I forgot a spoon. Oh, I've got a large spoon. I'll try this one. There we go. Oh, perfect. My eggs look pretty good too. Let's take a look at the eggs. I've got pepper. I want to put some pepper on my eggs. Those look pretty good. So let's dig in. Nothing like the soothing sounds of rain in the morning while you're eating breakfast. That's some nice crispy bacon. You know what else I forgot to mention? When I was at the grocery store, all the pancake batter was gone. And most of the cake mixes were gone too. So evidently people are eating a lot of cake. I don't know if you've looked at my gardening channel, but I posted a video yesterday. Just a real quick video. I had a really big surprise while looking in my greenhouse yesterday. I think maybe over 4 years ago, I learned about this tree called a BB tree, or Korean Evodia tree. And when you have bees, you find out that bees bring in nectar, and they bring in pollen, and the pollen is protein, and the nectar is carbohydrate, and they turn that nectar into honey, and basically they evaporate all the moisture out of it. I think they regurgitate it and add something to it, but they evaporate it so it gets really viscous and turns into what we call honey, right? And that's what they use to store over winter. That's what they eat over the winter. Well, certain parts of the year, there's no nectar. There's flowers produce a lot of nectar in the spring, and then also, like aster, blooms in the fall. But there's a period of time where there's not a lot of food coming in or available for the bees. This particular tree called the BB, or the Korean Evodia tree, produces flowers at a time of the year and between July and August when there's not much food available for the bees. So it's a great resource for bees. So prior to, a couple of years ago, I never heard of this tree either. As the name suggests, its origins are from Korea or Asia, I guess. But if you do a search on YouTube, there's a lot of the trees come up. People videotaping the trees. They seem to be in Eastern Europe. So if they've known about this tree in Eastern Europe, or beekeepers have been promoting this tree in Eastern Europe, but it's relatively difficult or unknown, or hard to find here in the United States. So I found some seeds on eBay, and I planted them. I think the first time I bought seeds is over 4 years ago. So I have some older plants, and then I think last year I planted some seeds also, so I have some relatively younger seeds. But the seeds are like really small. They're like these little specks. So it's hard to believe when you look at the trees now how big they are. But I didn't know when to expect flowers, on a tree. Like a fruit tree, you're probably not going to see fruit on a fruit tree between 5 and 7 years. And the best idea I could have was a video on YouTube where a guy shows the tree in his front yard. And it's a relatively young tree, and he says he planted it 5 years ago. But it might have been a couple of years old when he planted it. So I wasn't expecting, flowers. My oldest tree might be 4 or 5 years old that I planted in the ground. And I'm thinking maybe this fall I might see some flowers on it. So I was pretty surprised when by accident, without expecting, this the last thing I expected to see was some flower buds on one of my Korean Evodia plants. And it's not even the oldest. I can't figure out what's going on. I'm thinking because of this weather, we had some warm weather, and it gets really hot in the greenhouse, but then it got really cold again. wondering if the plant was tricked into thinking that because it came out of dormancy like 3 months ago. So 3 months would bring it into July, and that's when they expect these trees to bloom, is between July and August. So I'm kind of excited to see. I don't think the flowers will they look like they're too young. I was hoping that maybe Sunday I'd bring it outside, and if the flowers opened up to see if they attract the bees or not. Sometimes, it takes a long time to get the rewards of anything you plant. I planted this hardy kiwi in the garden, and I had to wait 5 years before it fruited. Last year was the first year I got a kiwi off of this hardy kiwi, and it was worth it. Forgot about my bacon. Really crispy. It's time, of course, for my favorite preserve, strawberry preserves, Smuckers. You can tell I'm right-handed. I could probably eat that jar, spoonful at a time, then have to sleep for a week. It's interesting how bacon goes with sweet. Like that donut I got that time with bacon bits on it. This is thick cut bacon. It's the type of day if you go to a garden nursery There's nobody there. Just shop around with an umbrella, walk through the garden center. Well, thanks everyone for stopping by again. That was eggs on toast, 2 eggs, nice crispy, thick cut bacon, and Smucker's strawberry preserve on a nice piece of toast afterwards with my coffee. So thanks again everyone, really appreciate your continued support. Thank you for your comments. Thanks to all my PayPal contributors. And thank you for using the Amazon links in the description to get you over to Amazon to make any of your Amazon purchases. I get a little commission when you do that at no additional expense to you. So thanks again for stopping by. Appreciate it. And yeah, on this nice rainy May 1st, 2020 here in Massachusetts. Thanks for watching everyone. Bye. Have a good weekend.